Today we are talking to Angela McDonald. She is a director and the country manager of Deployed. Deployed is a outsourcing supplier here in Ortigas in Manila, Philippines. Let's see what she has to say.
I'm Angela McDonald, Country Manager and Director here at Deployed. I'm based in the Philippines. I've been here 12 years now, originally from Scotland. I've worked in a few different industries in the Philippines, including working with the Chamber of Commerce's and recruitment agencies and eventually at Deployed. So, Outsourcing is having a full-time employee working remotely in the Philippines exclusively alongside your team, wherever you're located, doing exactly the same job, communication like if you were working with someone working from home. The only thing you don't need to worry about is the HR, timekeeping, payroll, infrastructure, so you can just get on with the managing of the staff with the tasks that you want done. I think that was the old way of thinking, was call centre roles and everything, but now it's much more skilled professionals, so pretty much anything that you do in your home location that can be done remotely, working from home, or anything that doesn't involve the face-to-face meetings can be outsourced. So that can be anything from quantity surveyors, accountants, IT development, technical support, graphic design, digital marketing. So it's just not limited now to the old-fashioned just hitting the phones and calling a list of names. I think it's control. You know, when you set up your team here, you're in full control of the workflow that's going over. With freelancing and project-based, as soon as they've finished it or they lose interest or they're offered a project with more money, they're just going to be hands-off. Whereas your control, you own the IP. You can make the changes. And just like hiring an employee at home, shouldn't be any difference in terms of your security. The usual setup for a BPO will be the client will be responsible for all employee-related expenses. And of course, there's a management administration fee to facilitate all the back-end work that's involved with employing a full-time employee. I think in the early stages, one of the problems that often arise with new clients coming on board is they're not prepared. They haven't actually developed their own processes inside. It might just be a half-baked idea that they want to test the water, but it's really important to look at your own internal infrastructure before you go and outsource to make sure you've got somebody responsible for handling the new employee coming in. They're trying to get in your head, but if you haven't got it mapped out, you just won't get the results that you're hoping for. So just preparation. I think common pitfalls that you could avoid is, like mentioned before, is preparation. Make sure you're prepared. You understand where your BPO provider fits in the model. Having the buy-in of your local staff so nobody gets worried. Often people think that they're going to lose their job at home. That's not the case. It's to help everybody be more productive at what they're good at and take away the time-consuming tasks that might be stopping your key employees from growing or closing new business or, you know, signing off on the details. And I think a really common pitfall is that the client will not spend enough time with the remote employee, making sure that they're following the process, making sure that the performance reviews are done. So probably like if they're doing a dump and run, you know, in hoping for the best, it won't work. It should definitely be handled exactly the same as you would if you had somebody back home. So when we engage with our clients, we always have, I call it a starter session with our clients to kind of really get in their head what they're looking for, set the expectations in terms of the skill set or salaries. We're very transparent on that. working out the nice to haves, what's essential, and then running a campaign from them. Obviously, we want to understand the culture, and we're, in effect, selling the opportunity to the candidate, which isn't all about salary, it's about the opportunity and who they're going to be working alongside. So it is pretty much like hiring an independent recruitment agency. So we'll implement the campaign. We do have partners that help us, but good talent's hard to find. We'll shortlist our selected candidates. We'll give them a thorough interview. We'll highlight the skills which are relevant for our clients, and we'll share our findings. We spend a lot of time on that area. Quality over quantity, absolutely. And then the client will just say, okay, this guy looks good, let's get him in for an interview. The client will do the interview. Do you have any tests? Let's get some tests done. And then they just make the decision, again, like you would at home. I think the expertise the BPOs provide to clients, especially those that are new to the game, is that the legal compliance is a complete headache here at the moment, the paperwork that's involved, the structure to make sure that the employees are in a productive environment, that we can be hands-on and the eyes and ears on the ground for the clients. And obviously, given the employees the security that there is a legal entity here to make sure everybody's paid on time, the government mandated expenses come in, any HR requests that you might not be familiar with, and it's just taken care of, so you can just keep focusing on what you do best. Roles in industries that are really common right now, digital marketing is really hot at the moment, so that can be anything from graphic designers, link builders, developers, to a basic admin helping out with that. That is really hot right now. Developers are in high demand, so making sure you're aware of what you're looking for and moving on it quite quickly. Accounting, finance and accounting, it's really growing here. There's a lot of big companies that have set up their operations out here. There are engineering is becoming good, so draftsmen, quantity surveyors, basic admin, social media marketing is really popular to put outside, along with a PA or EA, whatever it is that you're thinking of in that way. Okay, well, holiday management, obviously you've got pretty much three options. So you can either follow the Philippines holidays, which, to be honest, there are a lot of them if you include the special working ones. They can follow your holidays completely. Or what I suggest to my clients, if they don't need to follow the client's holidays, is let them have the regular fixed holidays off. And they work the special working holidays. There is a premium, it's only 30% on top of their salary for that day, but it's nothing on the scale of things. The special working holidays pop up unannounced. There can be quite a few of them, and it can really disrupt your operations. You can have your employees work different time zones. There will be a premium on top of it, which is mandated by law. So it's usually 10% premium from the hours of 10 p.m. Philippine times to 6 a.m. in the morning. It is quite common. Looking at, do you need somebody constantly working a night shift all the time, or just in the early stages are options that you can get around, making it more attractive for the employees to stay, or seeing some flexibility on that. I think when you're selecting a partner, looking at the size of team you want to grow to in the specific role, how much time and investment you're going to have. So if you're looking for just a bum on a seat, you don't care who's doing the work, just get them in there. So example, call centers or anything, go for the larger corporations. I think they're the ones that they will probably take you out the loop for the actual interviewing stage, but you're just having a task done and you don't really mind who's doing it. I think when you're looking for something more specialist and you really want a lot more control and you want your employees to be looked after and feel valued, make sure you partner with someone that really understands who you are, who is hands-on, not just at a high level, but with the day-to-day operations. So you should have a really close, open relationship with whoever you select to. As soon as if you're signing the dotted line and then you don't hear anything from that person, you should be a little bit worried about that. People often think the environment is just, we're working out of shacks or anything like that. We're not. Obviously we've got good IT infrastructure. The guys are in a productive working environment, often selected to the jobs that they're doing, and obviously teams that they're with. So, you're unlikely we're going to put developers or those in the more creative roles with people that might be on the phone or really need the quiet time to study. So we try to place everybody in the teams with those that are going to help encourage sharing best practices. We have in-house IT support and remote support that help with any technical issues. Obviously we've got office management and our day-to-day administration support for the guys that are in here, so the client doesn't need to worry about anything like that. They can come and visit. I think investigating outsourcing needs more than one conversation. If you're in Manila, come and meet them face to face. I think that makes a big difference. Visit the office, speak to some of the staff if you want. I think you got to be sure what it is you're looking for in the partners. So don't be fooled by the glossy, high-level stuff. Be sure about what your culture is, and does the company offer the same sort of culture? Do they look after their staff? What's their turnover rate like? So I think that's really important, which takes more than one conversation. I think the reality of it is exactly the same as at home. You wouldn't have a new employee start in your office and say, all right, there's your login, there you go. You do need to spend time. You do need to be prepared. I think some of the key things are setting out key points that you want covered in the first 3 months. So the probation period of 6 months in the Philippines is really important. So we do the performance reviews with the clients at 2 months and 4 months. And if at 4 months we're not starting to get somewhere, that would be a bit of a red flag for me. So there's ways you can get people to step up, but it should just be exactly the same. But having a plan in mind that at 3 months I will need them to achieve this, so that at the performance review the next time, you're saying, great, you've done a fantastic job. Now here is where we want you to go. And that collaboration helps the employees know what the next goals are, other than just doing the same thing, thinking that's enough. I think because I've joined Deployed when it just started, I'm involved in a lot of areas. It's our baby. So, obviously I'll be the first person people will speak to when they're exploring outsourcing. I'm also involved in the starter session, making sure our recruitment team know what they're looking for, and making sure all the wheels are in motion then. Pretty much in the loop for most things. From there, touch base with my clients, touch base with the teams. But as clients get more and more invested in growing their teams, they need my support less. So it's more of a general, hi, how's it going, rather than, can you help me with it? But one of the things I've found with our existing clients is that sometimes they just want to run an idea by you, and sharing that information about where their head's going for the future plans really helps us get a step ahead. So if we come across a profile they might not be looking for that is a hot candidate, I can say, look, hey Derek, this has come across my desk. I know you're not ready for it now, but you've already told me that this might be something you're interested in the future. Do you want to have a chat with them? I think if it's a little bit scary and you're worried about it, really the risk is not that bad as what the risk will be at home and the expense that you will take. I think really making sure that you have a good relationship with the person that you partner with, so that they can assure you that they've got your back. Making sure that you're not looking for a unicorn. You know, if you're looking for a unicorn and you can't find it at home, you're not going to find it here. Setting that expectation, starting off with a couple of employees. If you're not sure, you don't need to. I think people often think, you know, to use outsourcing, they've got to put 20 people out there at one go. I don't think that's the case at all. Most of our clients started here with 1 or 2 employees and have now grown to like 15 or 16. And they just gradually started placing more roles out when they got their confidence up. So don't panic, it's okay. Safety and security in the Philippines. Well, I've been here 12 years and I haven't run into any issues. Look, I mean, the security is fine in the offices. We have our CCTVs, people can't come in and out, there's biometrics. We also have like timekeeping sheets to track people's time in here. Police are around. I think if you were to take the safety and security, I think really it would be typhoons would be the thing that might hinder the operations if there's a really bad storm that comes in. And bearing in mind, not everybody is living in the central district, so you can get bothered with flooding, which means they can't literally get out their house. But it doesn't take long, and having been here 12 years, I think it's probably been 4 days out of them that I haven't managed to get to the office. Okay, well, I mean, look, there's lots of options, Cebu, you know, some of the other countries, Manila. For me, what I've found is, you know, Makati, Ortigas, QC, BGC are the central business districts, but some of them are a real nightmare to get into, are quite far. So make sure that when you're selecting, because it comes down to the talent pool, so you need to be able, there's no point in somebody that's living in the south that's going to be working in the north. The traffic here is horrendous. So trying to pick somewhere that's central in terms of public transport, MRTs, or easy to get grabs or anything like that, especially if they were on night shift, because bearing in mind people will be going out at silly hours and they have to be like in a safe area. So I definitely think looking at the talent market in the central districts will give you a bigger pool. Might be slightly more expensive in terms of the rate of the employees if they're in the key areas. I think the Philippines is good. Look, they've got a good talent market out here. The English is really good, so it's used every day. So even if you had, you know, there's a lot of people with American sounding accents due to the influences here. But I think, you know, even if somebody doesn't have the American twang, it's very neutral and very understandable, so it's easy to get the message across. I think if I was to give somebody advice when it comes to the culture or the language, being aware that it's very literal here. So, you know, if you say something sarcasm or anything in the early days can be taken the wrong way in terms of the understanding of the language. But it's great. Everybody speaks English. Yeah, I think it's a common concern that people worry about how productive are they in the office, you know, are they on Facebook, Netflix, YouTube all day? Well, we actually lock down specific sites so that unless it's required for work, they're not allowed on it. Obviously, we have the eyes and ears on the floor as well, and, you know, maybe tap someone on the shoulder. We also, on that point, lock down the USB ports unless they're needed, so you don't need to worry about anyone copying your files. Some people do use spyware. I don't recommend it, to be honest with you. I don't think you would use that with any of your employees at home. The risk is the same. But I think the culture, even internationally now, is a lot more people are working remotely. A lot more people are working from co-working areas or working from home or anything. So I think just not to panic. We make sure that they can't go and hop on all of these sites, and they can do it in their break. They can go into the pantry and sit and catch up with Facebook or anything like that. Deployed seem to attract the clients that are really looking for a much more hands-on approach when it comes to outsourcing for the first time, whether they're feeling a little bit nervous or they're firing questions every 5 minutes. I think Deployed really makes sure that the client feels that we've got their back, and we take a lot more time to understand more about the business of the people that are coming in and their long-term goals. So the relationship that's built in that early stages is something that continues to grow, and we nurture it throughout the whole journey of the clients.